MutahBeale, also known as Napoleon, was once a famous rapper in the hip-hop group Outlaws.
At the age of 3, I witnessed both of my parents get murdered in front of me. During the killing of my mother and father, I also got shot in the foot. I was in a house with my 6-month-old brother, and I was in a house with my 4-year-old brother at the time.
At a very young age, he grew up in the hard streets in New Jersey, where he believed in the idea that money would save him by going into the music
It was
industry.
easy to get myself, along with my brothers and cousins, in trouble. My brothers and cousins at a very young age was involved in drug dealing. And the first day that I actually went outside to basically do what they was doing, I got arrested. The background that I came from, we didn't have grandparents or my uncles. They wasn't pushing us to get education. So we was brought up to believe the only way we're going to make it up out of the hood is with money. So I decided that I should try to pursue a career in the music industry. So whatever I would see outside on my block, I would go into my room and I would make a song out of it.
Mutah was then introduced to the late famous rapper Tupac Shakur. Mutah joins Tupac music group and started their music career.
And his mother told me that he was trying to pursue a career in the music industry. And she said, in fact, he lived with his brother by the name of Tupac Shakur. So when I met Pop, we started to talk and we started to go about, what's the reason I'm here and what I'm trying to do with my life. And he basically told me in words such as, if you're trying to pursue a career in the music industry, I don't mind helping you. So a couple months went past, I get a phone call from Tupac, and this is when Tupac said that he wanted to put a rap group together. He wanted me to be part of that rap group. So around this time, Tupac, he started putting me together with the rest of the members. At this time, we was called the Young Thugs.
Mutah's music career was on top of the world as Tupac and the Outlaws members reached fame, but everything has soon become a downfall for
I
Mutah.
started to make the wrong turns, and it started to go down the hill.
After the signing with Death Row Records, it had completely changed the lives of Mutah and Tupac. There was much talk of life and death not only in their songs, but also the topic of many conversations between
That made me start to think about life and death. And we were sitting in his living room, and he was saying, man, remember how I used to always speak about death, how I didn't want to live anymore? He said, but for some reason I'm making all this money. He just bought him a Rolls Royce. He just bought him his house in Malibu. He said, for some reason I'm making all this money. He said, I don't want to die anymore. A couple months later, Tupac was in Las Vegas. He got into a fight with an individual in a hotel. A couple hours later, Tupac was driving. You guys know the story, I'm sure, with Suge Knight. A car pulled up on the side of Tupac. They opened fire. Pac got shot 13 times. 6 days later, Tupac died.
As Mutah recovered from the grieving period of Tupac's death, he continued his career in music, searching for happiness, but is only hit with more downfalls and multiple deaths of his loved ones in one
Let's get out
year.
of New Jersey. You should come back with me. Let's continue to do our music. Tupac died, not to mention my grandmother who raised me died, I think in June, July. Tupac died in September. I get a phone call in November that Gaddafi just got shot.
Mutah continued his career with the remaining members of the Outlaws. He succeeds by selling 2 million albums and thinks that he has found true happiness.
We put a record out called Still I Rise, and this record sold over 2 million records worldwide. And at this time of my life, the first thing that I wanted to do was buy houses because I was searching for happiness. I said, now that I'm making this money, now that I'm able to go buy a house, I'm going to be the happiest person on the face of the earth.
Mutah then leads himself into the world of depression and addiction, where he has his ultimate breakdown in life by almost murdering his younger brother. A Muslim at the hospital then talks to Mutah about how he needs to find his higher power.
And it happened to be a Muslim brother that day in the recording studio that came to me, he calmed me down and he started to talk to me.
The Muslim at the hospital kept up the persistent invitations for Mutah to visit his mosque. When Mutah finally gave it a chance, his experience opened a new door into his life.
They would say, peace to you, and everybody would say, peace be back to you, and everybody would get up, they would hug each other, they would smile. I said, these are some happy-looking people.
After Mutah converted into a Muslim, he truly found happiness. He now motivates people to understand his message of his story and how his faith put him on the right track.
Many of us in this room can say, man, I don't believe that, man. I'm a gangster, but when you're in that grave, when you drop dead, when that angel of death snatch your soul, man, there's no coming back. It's too late then. We only have one time to get it right with our Creator, with our Lord, and that's this life.